and welcome back to another episode of the Comics Around the World podcast. As always, I'm your co-host Mateo, and like in every other episode, I'm accompanied by
Frankie, and we've got a guest here wearing an unfortunate jersey.
All right. Hello, I am the CosmikCollector, but you can just call me Brandon.
Yep.
Welcome, Brandon. Welcome. I gotta say, I've been loving the grid videos that you've been cranking out.
Thank you. I love making them with the editing process, dude. It's like
I can imagine. That's like my I was like I couldn't do that because there's a lot of editing. I don't like doing that.
If it wasn't like it's an easy concept of editing, but it just takes forever. And it's like if I don't get them out, I get the chop grid boy comments, and it's like, all right.
I've seen that.
I've seen a couple of those.
And so now I'm just grid boy for like ever.
When you go live, people are like, "Hey, it's grid boy."
I posted a video today about the college football game, and someone was like, because I was like, I'm going to be playing this for the next 24 hours, and someone was like, "You're still doing the grids though, right?" And I'm like, I guess so. Yeah.
That's so funny.
But it is
those are
a lot more about Marvel because I'm not much of a Marvel guy.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm not really a Marvel guy either. I'm just more like a old school DC guy myself.
I'm the only real like Marvel guy here, so I kind of forced y'all to do this. I made y'all.
Although doesn't read comics.
What are comics?
Mateo reads more Marvel than you, though, Brandon. Brandon went through his most read characters the other day, and he has like DC characters that were just made that are higher than Spider-Man.
Okay, so I went through my top 1,000. Iron Man was the only one on it at 985.
Oh, great. Jeez.
He had I think it was 5 appearances that I've read of Iron Man.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
I never really went. I have Marvel. I just never really ventured into it too much. I've read Civil War, Avengers versus X-Men, Daredevil Yellow, stuff like that. But I really like the Ultimate Universe. So I've been reading a lot of the Ultimate Universe.
Okay, I know Frankie loves all Ultimate Spider-Man, so
I got the first Omni. I still have yet to read it.
Yeah, I'm excited to check out the new Ultimate Spider-Man, but I've only read the first issue.
Dude, it's
we did an episode.
It's progressively getting.
That's good to hear. I believe it.
All right.
But today we're going to be talking about one of, I think, the best Marvel comics ever. Thor by Jason Aaron. Mateo, had you read it before? I don't remember.
This is my third time reading it.
Okay. Yeah, this was my, I think, third time as well. Brandon had never read it. Since you had never read it, Brandon, you can go ahead and open the discussion.
What do you think about it?
It's probably my favorite Marvel comic I've read of the 7 I've read. No, I really did enjoy it. I was never really a big Thor guy. I like him in the movies, but I was never really super interested in it just because I was always more Greek mythology over Norse. But yeah, I liked it a lot. I love Jason Aaron and all the stuff he's done at DC, so I assumed I was gonna like this. Just the non-linear storytelling with the young Thor, the old Thor, and the present day Thor was really cool. It definitely made me have more appreciation towards the comic compared to the movie, which we'll talk about later. But no, I thought the action sequences were dope. I thought the art was amazing. It reminded me of Riccardo Federici, so really dope. He did Warworld Saga, which is my favorite Superman comic.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I mean, the art isn't something I'd usually like, but I feel like it fits the story so well.
Yeah, it's great.
It's exactly what this type of story needs, and it usually wouldn't be something I'd like, but I think it's perfect for the type of story.
Yeah. The only thing I have about the art is sometimes Thor has the weirdest frowning faces. I don't know if y'all noticed it.
Oh yeah, I took a screenshot of it and I saved it for my reaction folder in my photos.
Some of the faces can definitely be a bit odd.
Yeah, that one. That's the one. Just the huge frown.
Yeah.
Some of the faces could be a bit weird.
Yeah.
At least the human ones. I don't think Gorr's ever was off-putting to me, but the human ones can be a bit weird. I saved this page because the first time I read it, this was my only negative because I realized I misread it. But so there's this part where it's actually one of the most badass parts where Gorr's like, "What were you the god of?" And then he goes, "Thunder."
Yeah.
But so when I first read it, I thought this bottom panel was the young Thor like getting the hammer. Like, see how like
Oh,
this
yeah,
stuff,
and it went over.
and I was like, oh, he just became worthy. I was like, wait, why does he not keep using the hammer? But I'm realizing it's actually just a segment to the present day Thor.
Yeah.
And so I finally realized that when I like read it this time, and I was like, oh, I was like, that's why. Because when I first read it, I was like, dude, young Thor's a dumbass. Why doesn't he keep using the hammer?
Right.
I think that was the most confusing thing about it, was just like how they switched like back and forth between the different like Thors without actually like telling you when they were switching. Like they did the present day, past, and future a couple times, but usually they would just switch between the three without telling you.
Yeah. I thought he handled it pretty well, but I mean, yeah, it's always going to be like a bit weird to
jump back and
juggle.
forth.
Christopher Priest does the same thing, especially in like his Deathstroke run in Rebirth. It was like very non-linear, so you'd be in the present, then the past, and the future, and he would never really clarify where you were. He just kind of had to guess based on what people were wearing. It was
yeah. Yeah, that's why I didn't finish Priest run, because I didn't like that. But I feel I besides that one part, I mostly understood like when it was, because for like all the Thors are very distinct.
Yeah,
I like how the young Thor like usually just has his hair. That helps like
and
keep
then,
it distinct.
Yeah, I think the different appearances definitely helped like figure out where you were and who was doing what.
Yeah. But my favorite part of this comic is just Gorr. I think he's he's probably one of my top 5, maybe 10. I don't know where he'd rank, but like favorite comic book villains literally ever. Like just straight up. I just think he's that good.
He's top 5 for me.
I think he probably is for me.
I think he moved into my top 5 Marvel villains for sure. Which I mean, I didn't really have a very like good list because I haven't read that much, but no, he's up there. I think probably Doctor Doom would probably be above him. Maybe. I'm a big Shocker fan for some reason. I don't know what it is about Shocker.
Okay.
I just love Shocker.
He's got a cool design.
Yeah.
We're big fans of just loving villains off designs and designs alone. That's me with Deathstroke.
They just look cool.
That's fair, yeah. I mean, what else do you need from a villain?
Yeah.
Exactly.
As long as they look cool. Which Gorr does look pretty damn cool, especially when he's got like the all black, like
the clothes.
He just keeps getting the
sword like grows out of his hand.
Dude,
it's so cool, man. I like how we just kind of like, we know that there's this guy killing gods, but we don't really know why. But it kind of like feeds it like a little bit more after each issue, and then we get that. I think it was issue 6 where it just starts off with his origin, and we see why he is doing what he's doing, and it just makes sense because like this is like a guy with like a really, I want to say like legit reason why he wants to kill all the gods, but it like he has his motivation, and it's like he's a very three-dimensional villain, and I don't know, he's so badass, he's scary, he's like he has great like one-liners, and it's like
I'm like low-key on Gorr's side.
That's what I was. We were talking about this before. You think Gorr was doing the right thing?
Gorr did nothing wrong.
Gorr was right.
I mean, the one part that like makes me disagree with myself is at the end when like the kid, you find out it's actually like really just him that like helped the Thors kill Gorr, because it's like that lonely part of himself. But like when Gorr's like going off on that tangent and he's like, gods only create like suffering and all that, I'm like, I mean, he's low key kind of spitting.
I like the concept of him becoming the one thing that he hated, you know, and not realizing that he became that thing. But also, like, with him being right, I think it's like the gods could do more, but them doing less did not necessarily hurt people. You know what I'm saying? Like, do they deserve to die because they didn't do anything? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think going on a mass genocide of gods is the right option there.
Probably not the right path.
Yeah.
But I do agree. It's like, it's definitely a thing where, like, I think Thanos and Infinity War, you can, like, definitely at least see why he's doing what he's doing. And I think that makes him, like, just such a compelling villain.
Yeah.
To where maybe he's not right, but you can at least, you can see why he's doing it.
Yeah, and he's, like, a true menace because, I mean, when Thor first met Gorr, he, like, tortures him for 16 days.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's crazy because it's crazy. And like, I like how he's like saying like, I don't want to hurt like the humans because I'm going after like the gods that don't do you justice. So he's kind of like rationalizing with them in a sense, but then he's like, well, if you want to die for your god, then you'll die along with them, which is pretty hard.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I thought it was great. I might read more Thor now, Frankie. So maybe
The rest of the run is really good too.
The whole run.
What is it, like 18 issues?
Well, I mean, like technically, but then it
it's a little convoluted.
Welcome to
it leads into it leads into Jane Foster Thor, which then leads into Unworthy Thor, which then leads into like more Jane Foster Thor, and then a big event.
War of the Realms? War of the Realms, yeah.
Oh, that's like the precursor to King in Black, right? Is that like the thing before that?
No.
Oh.
No. You're thinking like none of this really ties into King in Black except for the fact that like Donny Cates eventually makes the Necro Sword.
Yeah.
But no, this is kind of like just a huge like storyline that Jason Aaron did at Marvel, which
I think War of the Realms is like the conclusion of all that.
Yeah.
Was Donny Cates using the Necro Sword? Was that the first time Null was like created? Was that like his origin?
Yeah.
So he created. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, he ties it in really, really well. I forget the specifics, but it's you see in a Venom comic like those two gods that were fighting, like falling from the ground. He like brings that all into like Gorr and the Necro Sword.
Mm-hmm.
So Jason Aaron had no intention of that sword being some big cosmic entity, and then Donny Cates just took it a step further.
Well, I forget. Like, I mean, maybe. I guess I don't think he did, but there's eventually another story with Gorr in it called King Thor.
Yeah, it's like a 4-issue miniseries, I think.
I don't know if that came out after the Venom stuff. I'd have to look at the timeline, but that's kind of one of my favorite things about Gorr is besides this comic and King Thor, like you don't really see Gorr ever again. They just kind of keep him for this specific story, and don't overuse him, which I think is one of my favorite things about him.
Very true.
I would love next time when Jason Aaron's back at MegaCon, I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna be like, "Yo, did you mean for?"
Well, I know, Mateo, you're more of a DC fan. Are you excited for him to write Absolute Superman?
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited for that. I've been like following up with like the Absolute that whole like line of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I saw like the release panels for the Batman run. I heard Rom V and someone else is doing, I think, Green Lantern. Which
Al Ewing is doing Green Lantern, dude.
Yeah.
And then Jeff Lemire is doing Flash, and
I'm picking that up instantly.
Dennis Camp is doing Martian Manhunter.
I don't know anything about Dennis Camp.
I don't either, so I'm not really sure what he did. But yeah, dude, Lemire on Flash and Al Ewing on Green Lantern is insane. Mm-hmm. Only thing I've done is I like I've read or I've heard that Al Ewing's really good. I really wish Jonathan Hickman would do Green Lantern though. I think Jonathan Hickman would kill Green Lantern.
Yeah. Damn.
Is he exclusively Marvel or can he do stuff for?
I think he's Marvel.
Yeah.
I know he's done some indie too, but
yeah, he did I know he worked for Image for a bit too. But it's like Image. Yeah. It's yeah, so it's like either Image or just Marvel. We should really come to DC, man.
Dude, it's great.
Stay Marvel.
But the Absolute Batman is just like, I don't like the design at all. I mean, like, I love Scott Snyder. I think the story is going to be great. I'm just really worried about that design because bro looks like Bane tried to squeeze into the Batman costume. His symbol is just a rectangle. It's
very interesting.
It's not great. And then the only thing I will say I love about the suit is the fact that he has like the capes on his gauntlets with the whips on the end of them. I think that's really cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so they had some panel previews where he's literally like using the whips on his cape to like take out people. It's pretty dope, but besides that, it's just I'm not a big fan of it.
I feel like people might change their mind once you get the colors though. I feel like that could change a lot.
Yeah, well they revealed the colored cover for it. And the colors are fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's just the big design of build. Yeah. Like it's like a Frank Miller Tim Sale combination. It's weird.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what more like information comes out of that at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Red V is working on a book though. It's he said it's like some bigger like it's like the cosmic forces of DC. So it's I'm thinking either New Gods or probably Dr. Fate. It's probably one of those things.
Dude,
if he does Dr. Fate, I'm hoping
I will cry. Honestly, either Dr. Fate or New Gods, I would be the happiest man on earth.
That's like Mateo's two things.
Oh, that's like your two favorite?
Yeah, it's like New Gods like above all, and then like Dr. Fate. I'd be like,
would you rather write like the return of Kent Nelson like Dr. Fate, or would you want him to write like the current like Khalid Nassour Dr. Fate?
It would be interesting for him to like do like a mix of both, maybe.
Oh, like a team up kind of thing.
Yeah, something like that. I feel like that'd be interesting to see.
Ooh, what if it was like a non-linear like time thing, like where it was like Dr. Fate past and then the Dr. Fate now, and it's like same story but like in 2 times as they learn to both be Dr. Fate. I think that'd be cool.
I love non-linear stories, so yeah, that would be like my cup of tea.
I first learned about Dr. Fate in Injustice 2, and I thought he looked cool, so I like him.
Oh yeah,
he's open to Injustice 2. Actually, no, he sucks in Injustice 2. I hate using him.
His moveset sucks.
Yeah, I'm a Green Arrow guy.
Ooh, I like playing Green Arrow.
Green Arrow, Flash, and Blue Beetle's pretty good too.
Yeah, I think I'm a Flash. Whenever I play Injustice, I always choose Flash.
I just don't play against people who are really good at the game because they'll hit you once and then you'll stay in the air as they hit you over and over again until you lose. Yeah, Green Lantern's the worst, especially if they know the move. There's this move where if you press a certain amount of buttons, it'll throw you over, and then you can just continuously do that.
Oh, you go boom, boom,
and you can't move. Like you literally can't block it. So it's like it's broken.
Yeah, that's true. I wonder. Oh man,
Injustice 3.
Yeah, not even Injustice 3, but like if they were doing anything with Marvel, because I know like Ed Boon has been like teasing the hell out of it about like a Marvel DC like thing, but it's like.
He's teased Marvel versus DC like 10 times. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, if you're going to do it, like, stop doing this. Just come out with the game.
Wait, who?
I'm tired of the guy who runs NetherRealm, which is the studio that makes them, has teased Marvel. Yeah. He's teased Marvel versus DC like 10 times.
Because we got the Mortal Kombat versus DC, like way back. Yeah. And then we got like, obviously Marvel versus Capcom. So like.
It's inevitable.
Yeah.
Dude, that would be the coolest game ever. Yeah. That would be
honestly, I like them, but I get bored of the like side scroller fighter games after like an hour.
Oh yeah,
me too.
I only play them with like friends on my own. I don't play them at all.
That's exactly what I do.
I think the exception would be if it was Marvel versus DC. I'd get like double as invested. That'd be just the coolest thing ever.
I'd platinum the game.
Yep.
Are y'all getting Marvel Rivals, the Overwatch copy?
I've seen clips of it. Yeah. I might get it. Are they doing like the closed beta right now?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's NCAA, so yeah, they're doing it.
It looks cool.
They're not beating college football. Nobody's playing that. All right. It comes out in an hour and 45 minutes and 17 seconds, so I got the countdown on my screen right now.
I hear a lot of people hype for that.
Dude, it looks insane. I told Frankie I'm gonna make sure LSU goes undefeated, and then I'm gonna use my Division 1 team to beat them in the national championship, and then and then send him a picture of it. It shouldn't be too hard though. The Tigers suck, so
that's absurd. That's he gets it earlier than me, so I'm just jealous and I'm annoyed by that.
Good about the bundle.
Yeah. But I feel like now we have to talk about Love and Thunder. We have to.
Oh, yeah.
It's essential.
Okay. I want to say that Love and Thunder is probably the best representation of a comic I've ever seen in my entire life. Almost panel for panel.
Actually, they do create one panel. They create a panel like shot for shot of that big giant monster.
Yeah, I remember
that. Dude, I remember when I saw that in the trailer, I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "They're gonna do it justice." I was like, "This is gonna be so hype." And then I think I'm more mad that they wasted Christian Bale in the MCU than they messed up this storyline, because Christian Bale is like just one of the best actors ever, and
except for
we'll never see. I mean, I love his Batman, but I get that. I get that point.
Mateo, are you with me on that?
Yeah, I mean, I like the movies, but like him as Batman is like.
That's where I'm at. Yeah, his Bruce Wayne is immaculate, but
yeah.
Batman.
I hate the like the voice and like his suit's awful. I hate it.
Okay, his suit is bad. His suit is bad,
especially Batman Begins. But no, I think this comic has definitely made me dislike the movie a little bit more. I mean, I was the person who liked the movie. I probably gave it like an 8.5, I think, like a 9. But it definitely moved down like a half a rating or 1 because of how like good the comic was and how far away they strayed from the source material.
Yeah,
they definitely didn't make Gorr as menacing in the movie. It made him kind of like a joke.
Yeah.
I think I have so much dislikeness for the movie because in preparation for watching the movie, I read like the whole storyline and I was like, okay, I'm ready, I'm excited, and I saw the movie and I was like, what the fuck?
Always see the movie first because it's never gonna live up to the book.
That's like the second time I made that mistake because when I saw before I saw Eternals, I read Neil Gaiman's like little run on it. I was excited, saw the movie, and I was like, what the fuck? So I learned my lesson twice now.
Yeah, Eternals was just like, it wasn't bad. I think it was probably the most visually pleasing MCU movie.
Oh yeah,
and it definitely cool. Like it had some of the best like fight scenes in it, but it's just overall it was just a boring movie. Like
it wasn't even like bad. It was just like, meh.
I wasn't interested in the characters or the universe that they were in. Like it was just like the only thing that was cool was the Celestials to me because it was getting us closer to Galactus.
Yeah,
exactly.
I just like. I don't know. I'm a defender of Thor Ragnarok. It's one of my favorite MCU movies, but because it was
peak.
I agree. It's incredible. But that's because it wasn't adapting like any specific comic story. I mean, like it like ties certain comics in, like with the whole Hulk thing. But Love and Thunder was supposed to be like you get Jane Foster Thor, you get was supposed to be basically Jason Aaron's Thor as a movie, and it was not. It was not that at all. So
I think it's fine if you do completely original stories, but if you're gonna adapt a story, adapt it right, you know. Don't completely destroy it, like BVS. Which I enjoy as a movie, but as a comic book fan, it's atrocious.
That wasn't an adaptation of anything, was it?
It was like a mixture of like the Dark Knight Returns and the Death of Superman, and also like kind of a couple other things. Basically, Snyder flipped through all these really popular comics and was like, "Ooh, I like that panel. Let's do that."
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And they were like, "What about the words?" And they're like, "What words?"
The scene with like the lightning bolt,
and then they realized both of their moms' names were Martha.
He's like, "Let me cook here."
Let me cook. And what if our Lex Luthor was like the Riddler, like a skinny little nerd?
I don't really mind BVS, but that's my one complaint is Lex Luthor. I think he's just horrific.
Oh yeah, I enjoy the movie as like a movie, but like if I don't shut my brain off and just watch it as a movie, there's so many things wrong with it, especially as a Batman fan.
I really like the "Do you bleed" scene. Do you like that part? I always am like, hell yeah.
Oh cool. Yeah, there's always good lines in the Snyder movies. It's not like there's like but I just didn't like what they tried to do, especially with it being your main universe. How are you going to make your main universe Batman kill people? You know. Right. That's a whole nother topic, but like this is your DCEU. This is where the general audience are going to see is the main like DC universe, and you're making Batman murk people in a tank. It's not Batman. I'm sorry.
That's true. Well, at least now it's like in the it's like an Elseworld multiverse thing.
Yeah, now
James Gunn will save us.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. I'm so excited for Superman.
Dude, the set leaks have got me more excited for a movie than I think I've ever been.
Oh yeah, I'm really hyped.
I wasn't a big Superman fan about a year ago. I thought he was overrated. I thought he was boring and overpowered. And then I realized everyone who says that has never read Superman because I read Superman, and then now I love him. He's top 5 for me. So.
He's fantastic. I just read just recently For All Seasons, which is really good. Really good. I'm reading right now Death of Superman.
Yeah. Dude, For All Seasons. Ooh. That's some good stuff.
Oh yeah.
I have the issue of Death of Superman, but I don't think I'll ever plan on reading it just because I don't like older comics. But Superman is the GOAT.
Yeah, I have the issue too, the 75, and I think I also have the issue where Bane breaks Batman's back.
Oh, the
So I got,
Nightfall
like,
issue.
Yeah,
Ooh, those are
I'm like,
cool.
whenever I go to like a Comic-Con, my goal is like to collect the whole Nightfall like storyline.
Dude, I have so many issues of Nightfall. I just don't have that issue. Like, I think I have every issue but that one. Yeah. Because they're really cheap. Like at my comic book shop, they have like every issue for like $1 except for that one. So
there's like 400 issues from Nightfall to Night Quest to
hell yeah.
It's just never ending.
It's insane. Yeah. Well, I'm on this like grind to collect every Batman thing ever in single issues.
Okay.
Yeah. So
every
like I'm not like actively like looking for every single issue, but if I see one for $1 and I don't have it, I pick it up, and then I just add it to the Batman collection. Over time, I'll eventually, collect everything Batman that I can.
Right. But I kind of do the same thing with New Gods, but then they're like some of the issues are like $100. I'm like, I'm not gonna drop $100 for it.
Have you read Terry Conway's New Gods?
Is that the one where Orion gets like the horrible suit?
Yeah.
I think that was Jerry Orway.
This one.
It's kind of, yeah. Oh, I hated it.
I haven't read it yet. I just have it. Orion. No. I didn't even notice that was Orion.
I know. I hated it so much.
To be fair, I don't like the Orion bowl cut though.
The bowl cut.
He does. Yeah, he has like the redhead bowl cut. He does look goofy in it, but like because he wasn't Justice League Odyssey, and he had like the cooler hair.
Dude, I just finished that actually. Like.
The whole run's fantastic. The whole run's fantastic.
It was very slow at the beginning, but it really picked up when Darkseid became bigger in it. Yeah, it was.
I love that run so much,
and I love Jessica Cruz, like Green Lantern.
Oh yeah, she was awesome. Like the whole thing, like especially like the last like issue, like the fourth issue, like not issue, but the fourth volume, where like everything's just kind of like
coming together.
And it's like, oh shit.
I've been on a big like Green Lantern reading order, so I just started New 52, and then I've been working my way through, and I just got to Grant Morrison's Green Lantern, which was very at first, but it's getting better. I'm just not a big Grant Morrison guy.
I'm not either.
Yeah, it's kind of like a particular taste. Not to be that guy.
I think it's like some stuff I enjoy, but it's like most of it just feels convoluted for the sake of being convoluted.
Have you read his Animal Man?
No.
I tried reading it, and dude, I know people love it. That shit was awful.
I'm not big on All-Star Superman, to be honest. I don't think it's like bad at all. I just think it's an alright Superman story.
I agree. I think it's overhyped, but it's really good.
It has some of the best Superman moments in it, but I think as an overall story, it's just like it's alright.
I agree. I think it's just because I don't want to blame James Gunn, but because of James Gunn, I think it's gotten to this level of overhyped that's just like almost ridiculous. Like, yeah, it's really good, like definitely really good, but it's not like this godsend of a story. Like,
I don't even have it in my top 5 Superman stories. I don't even know if I'd put it top 10. I think the best Superman story I've ever read is Philip Kennedy Johnson's Warworld Saga. That is by far the best Superman content.
I started reading it. It is really good.
It's so good. Yeah. I love Philip Kennedy Johnson. And I think he would, if they're going to do an Absolute Aquaman, I want him on Absolute Aquaman because
that'd be cool.
Superman Kryptonite is one I really like, but that's just because I love Tim Sale.
I've heard Up in the Sky is really good by Tom King. I've heard Birthright is really good.
Birthright.
I haven't read.
That's like where they redo his origin.
Superman Red and Blue is really, really good. It's just like an anthology, like different Superman stories, all in like that red, white, and blue style.
Oh, okay. It's like kind of like the very, Marvel Black, White, and Red.
Yeah. It's very like new reader friendly. Just get an idea of like who Superman is. Like, there's some heartwarming stories, some action packed ones. It's really good. It's a whole bunch of different writers and artists.
That's cool. Yeah, I've seen like collected edition of that, and I've never picked it up. But I'm like on like a Superman kick right now, so I might put that on the list.
Yeah, I'd read it. If you really like Superman and who he is as a character, check out Injustice and Superman Red Sun. Oh yeah, I will defend Injustice to the day I die because it is an Elseworld story. It is not main continuity Superman.
Yeah,
and it is not Tom Taylor's fault that people thought it was.
I agree. I mean, I love Injustice just because I love the video game, so I defend Injustice just for that.
Yeah.
Dude, the comics are so good. Like it's like
I've heard that.
The closest thing we've gotten to Marvel's like Civil War in DC.
Yeah.
But I'd say it's better.
The Civil War comic.
Yeah.
It's one of the first comics I ever read, and I didn't really like it that much. Really?
Yeah, I enjoy it. I just like the whole concept of superheroes fighting superheroes.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I didn't. But also, I know Mark Millar is like scum of the earth, right?
Yeah, he's like a little bit. He's a bit sketchy. Yeah.
Okay. But see, the thing is, I liked The Ultimates run. Now but the only reason I liked it is it was so ridiculously bad, and the characterizations of all the characters were so horrible that it was so enjoyable. Like it was like the most like insane drama that I couldn't put it down. Like you're telling me Hank Pym just sprayed the Wasp with bug spray, and like the Hulk is out here eating people, and dude, it's insane. It's ridiculous, but it's so good.
I haven't read it, but that made me want to read it. I do like reading really bad stuff.
Yeah, it's so bad it's enjoyable.
Yeah. That was Sins Past. We reviewed Sins Past, Spider-Man. That's one of the worst things I've ever read in my life, and it was so much fun. It was so much fun. There's literally a scene of Green Goblin having sex with Gwen Stacy. It's literally like, it's absurd.
All right, well, if you like reading bad stuff, next time I come on, we'll review. Where's it at? I gotta find it.
I love reading bad stuff.
Can't forget the Goblin face when he.
All right, I guess we'll read.
Ridiculous.
Y'all got to read this for next time. Come on.
Oh,
yes.
Christ.
I've never read it. This
is what made me a Frank Miller hater right here. This book, and I'm honestly disappointed in Jim Lee for taking this job.
Yeah, and they made an absolute edition of that too.
What?
Ridiculous.
And I guess because the artwork really good in it?
Oh yeah, it's good as Jim Lee.
I mean, but the story is absolute crap. The only
doesn't Batman backslap someone in it?
Yeah, Robin.
Backhand. Boom.
He backhands Robin and makes him eat rats.
Yeah, and he calls him like Dance in the R word. And he said like I'm the goddamn Batman.
And he says that he's a soldier and just got drafted into a war.
Yeah.
I will say though. No, I think the only good issue in this was the last issue with them bullying Green Lantern. I think it's hilarious. They like paint an entire room yellow because
I remember that.
Green Lantern's weakness is yellow, and then they paint themselves yellow, and then they just sit there and drink lemonade and bully Green Lantern. It's hilarious, but I mean, also it's like the only time he's not physically abusing Robin. So
yeah, he also abuses Alfred too.
He does.
He chokes him.
Alfred's freaking ripped in this, dude. Like, there's one point where he's like saving Vicky Bale, and he like pulls off his shirt to like make a tourniquet, and Alfred's just like standing in the rain, like ripped. It's the coolest Alfred scene I've ever seen.
Dude, I definitely want to read that. That sounds so fun.
He also like totally does it with Black Canary, who is for some reason Irish in this.
I speaking of bad stories, I just read Spider-Man One More Day. I just read it for the first time.
I tried to read it. I didn't get through it. That was one of the
it's weird. It's really weird.
Is that where he sacrifices like his marriage with Mary Jane to like save Aunt May or some dumb shit like that?
Yeah, to Mephisto.
The reason like I don't really hate it that much is because it's just so obviously an editorial story to reset Spider-Man. Like it's the only reason that it exists. So like I don't really hate it for that. Like the story literally wouldn't exist if editorial didn't want to reset him. So it's kind of like
Same thing with Sins Past. There was like the thing where like he like answered like a thing on Twitter or something saying like editorial wanted it to be Norman Osborn or something. I'm like,
the writer JMS has like he wrote both of those stories, and he said like the only reason those stories exist was for editorial. So that's why I don't like hate him as much, because like that story just genuinely never would have been written if editorial wasn't like reset Spider-Man right now, and he was like, okay, well I think the way he did it, it could have been done worse.
Yeah.